Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to your usual cricket show, Cricket Happenings, this week. And this is your host, Ram, with you. As far as the Cricket Happenings show goes today, what I have for you is the Indian Premier League 2022. And it was a match between the Kolkata Knight Riders taking on the Sunrisers Hyderabad. And Kolkata Knight Riders went on to have a comfortable victory by 54 runs against the Sunrisers Hyderabad. And that really has made the race for the, I would say, probably the fourth spot for the playoffs really hot, with all other teams also joining the fray, like Rajasthan Royals. So it's really looking a very competitive business end of the tournament as far as the IPL is concerned. So that is something. And besides that, what I'm going to talk about is the first test starts tomorrow between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankans are touring Bangladesh, and I'll be just talking a bit about it. And also, we'll go back to some cricket news during the week. One of the important announcements that was made was the former New Zealand wicketkeeper batsman Brendan McCullum of New Zealand has been named as the new coach of the England cricket team. And I think that's a sort of a very good move by the English selectors. So we'll look into it. We'll look into it. So first, let's head on to the match between KKR and the Sunrisers Hyderabad. This was a game for Sunrisers Hyderabad. I have to say this was their fifth defeat on the bounce, and that definitely is not a good feeling. And as far as the game goes, the Kolkata Knight Riders were the ones who batted first. In fact, they took a very bold approach. One thought, because normally, contrary, we have seen that very few teams have gone to take to bat. So Kolkata Knight is probably making the first time that in the IPL they decided that they will bat first, and they definitely raised a good score of 177 for six. If you look at the card there, Venkatesh Iyer played one gorgeous straight drive down the ground of the left armer Marco Jansen. But that was it for Venkatesh Iyer as he chopped on one onto his stumps for seven of six deliveries, 1-4, and he was a goner. Ajinkya Rahane was struggling. He probably had some sort of a cramps in his legs. One was really wondering, as the commentators were really telling, was there a need for, even though he hit three sixes, Ajinkya Rahane, was there a need for him to really stay there, because they could have probably he could have retired and someone else could have come, but it was not to be. But nevertheless, after that, from that position onward, Nitesh Rana joined Ajinkya Rahane, and both suddenly started really treating the bowlers with disdain, and they started having the score a bit of a gallop, one could say. From 17 for 1, it became to 65, and it was very well done. Nitesh Rana was playing some very good strokes. Ajinkya Rahane also doing the same. But then Umran Malik was pressed into the attack, and what a spell for Umran Malik. He went on to pick up three wickets in 2 overs, and again, that pace was back. The 150 clicks, as we talk about, is the lowest that he can bowl is close to 140 clicks. So that really says a lot. There's a lot of talk going on about this young bloke, Umran Malik, and what an excited youngster he is. I mean, it's really good to see an Indian bowler with genuine pace. And Ajinkya Rahane, well, he was the first victim. Was Nitish Rana. Again, the pace was the one which actually had the better of him, as he tried to play it through the deep square region, and it was a full-blooded pull by Rana. But Shashank, I thought the full credit on this particular catch should go to Shashank, because the way he judged it, the ball was just going to carry over the boundary. Shashank has really anticipated it well. He has made sure that his leg was grounded before it hit the ropes, and also he was very conscious that he had to take the catch inside the boundary, and that he did. And so I think full credit to Shashank. That was a sort of a scintillating catch, as we call it. And Nitish Rana was gone. Caught Shashank Singh bowled Umran Malik for 26 of 16, 1 4 and 3 sixes. Ajinkya Rahane finally went out of his misery, one could call, as far as his legs were concerned, as he tried to flick one from the ball of from the from one of the delivery from Umran Malik, and that was it. It went straight to the sweeper cover position, and that was the end of Nitish for end of Ajinkya Rahane. He was gone for 20 or 24, 3 sixes. And then Shreyas Iyer, one was waiting for the battle between Shreyas Iyer and Umran Malik. He had just slapped Umran Malik for a wonderful boundary, but that was it. Umran Malik getting the better of Shreyas Iyer, and he was absolutely pumped up with that wicket, and why not? The ball full, angling onto his pads. Shreyas went onto his back foot and tried to flick the delivery, but again, because of this bloke's pace that he generates, that makes it difficult for the batsman. The ball was in the air. Tripathi taking the catch by lunging forward, and that was the end of the captain of Kolkata Knight Riders. It was a big blow, and suddenly Umran Malik had reduced this Kolkata Knight Riders innings to 83 for 4 in the 10th over after the halfway mark. And now it was definitely left to Sam Billings and Andre Russell. Now, Rinku Singh, it was a very, very a sort of a dismissal where they were basically, it was very interesting. I mean, this is something which gets us digging into the cricket laws here. It was Natarajan was bowling. He was absolutely confident. Rinku was the person at the striker's end, and there was an on-field decision from the umpire Anand Padmanabhan, who said it's not out. Rinku is the one who has to call for the review. On the other hand, it was Sam Billings who probably said he called for a review, and probably the umpires were waiting for Rinku Singh to raise his hand. But Rinku Singh, unfortunately, did not, and that resulted in the preview, the time being over. It was a timeout, and finally, it was a bit of a not a big controversy, but a small controversy. But it was a what a Yorker from Natarajan. I mean, over the wicket, in swinging Yorker, and it was plumb in front. And Rinku Singh had to go, unfortunately, because, as I said, it was something that the batsman at the center should know, that the striker is the one. If at all he has to review a decision, the striker is the one who has to go and say that I want to review the decision, not the non-striker. Now, in this case, that's what happened, and it went against and Rinku Singh, LBW bowled Natarajan for 5. And then Andre Russell, the Dre Russ, as we call it, walked in, and he can bat only in his way. Sam Billings was giving him company, and Andre Russell was really biding his time. He was playing in a sensible manner. He knew that his wicket was very precious after Rinku Singh's dismissal. And Sam Billings and Andre Russell set about the task, and they saw to it that they were till the end, but not before Andre Russell slowly opening his shoulders. And there was a bit of a math calculation, because it happened to be that the final over was bowled by Washington Sundar, and that disappeared for 20 runs. And that was a bit costly, as Andre Russell smacked 4 sixes, 3 sixes, consecutive sixes of Washington Sundar. The offie 4 sixes and 3 fours. 49 was his final total, not out of 28 deliveries. And the other end, Sam Billings contributed 34 of 29, 3 fours and 1 6. Nareen was not out on 177 for 6 was the final tally for the KKR. And on this particular pitch, one thought was a good total. Bowling, Bhuvneshwar Kumar was good, 1 for 27. Jansen, 1 for 30. Natarajan, 1 for 43. Washington Sundar, good to see him bowl today. 4 overs, 1 for 40. But Umran Malik's spell definitely stood out amongst the rest. 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 33. Now it was the turn for the Sunrisers Hyderabad to go and chase that particular target. It definitely required some getting there, but the problem happens to be that the key batsmen could not come to the party today. If you look at it, they lost Kane Williamson early in the piece, bowled by Andre Russell, who now was beginning to strike with the ball as well. As It was not a shot that Williamson normally plays. He went across the line and he missed the delivery, and that was the end of. One could really see the sort of disappointment on the face of Brian Lara when the captain Kane Williamson was out. He was bowled by Russell for 9, having a cross-batted swipe. But Abhishek Sharma, as he has been doing throughout this particular tournament, once again looked in pink touch, one could call, as he played a serene innings of 43 of 28 deliveries, which included 4 fours and 2 sixes. Pretty pleasing on the eye, Abhishek Sharma. Rahul Tripathi had a hot one coming on. Saudi got a hot one coming on to him from Rahul Tripathi as he just blasted it, and and Tim Saudi with some quick reflexes on his follow through held on, and that was a good catch. He was gone for 9, and now it was left to Aiden Markram with Abhishek Sharma, and that was going on. But then Abhishek Sharma fell a victim to the bowling of Varun, caught Billings bowled Varun for 43. But then Aidan Markram was joined by Puran. But the big wicket there fell when Nicholas Puran was caught and bowled by his West Indian partner Sunil Narine, and that was it was short delivery, and that was the end of Nicholas Puran. That was a big wicket. Now definitely there was a lot of pressure. The run rate was mounting with Aidan Markram and Washington Sundar at the crease, and the run rate kept on mounting to such an extent that it reached 22 runs. But Aiden Markram definitely provided a bit of entertainment, but only just because he was looking good with 22, 30 of 25 balls with 3 sixes in that, 3 good sixes. But Umesh Yadav was the one who forced him to chop onto the stumps to 32, and he was a goner. And now it was a mere formality to be done. Russell came in and picked up the wicket of Washington Sundar for 4 and Jansen for 1. Shashank Singh fell to Saudi for 11. And the end, it was nothing to really talk about, as 123 for 8 was not a good effort from the SRH, as they lost the match, as I said, the 5th defeat on the bounce for the SRH, as they lost the match to KKR by 54 runs. And KKR definitely making their position a bit strong at the business end of the tournament with this victory. Umesh Yadav 1 for 19, bowled superbly as is his wont. Team Saudi 4 overs, 2 for 23, did a wonderful job. Sunil Narine was impressive, 1 for 34. But Andre Russell, who was the man of the match, not only with his batting, also with his bowling exploits, 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 22. Varun Chakravarti trundled well, 4 overs, 1 for 25. And that was the end of the game between Sunrisers and the Kolkata Knight Riders, with Sunrisers actually going on to win that match. Now, from here, from the IPL, we know there are two matches which are coming up tomorrow. Some 2 crunch games. Gujarat Titans are taking on Chennai Super Kings. As you know, the Chennai Super Kings, for them, it's probably, for both teams, it could be time for experimentation, because Chennai Super Kings are out of the playoffs race. But as far as Gujarat Titans are concerned, they are already qualified for the playoffs. So definitely stark contrast, but definitely both the teams can afford to actually do some experimentation tomorrow. Probably anyone who has not got a chance to play in this IPL would probably get an opportunity. And as far as the other match is concerned, the Lucknow Super Giants, I think they are taking on, if I'm not wrong, I think it's the Rajasthan Royals, but I just need to confirm on that. But it's Lucknow Super Giants definitely into the picture. Now, the thing is, I will come back to that later. But right now, I just want to do a brief preview. As I said, the Sri Lankans are touring Bangladesh, and just doing a very, very brief preview of the first test, which is coming up tomorrow. Bangladesh, I have to say, they are crippled. Yes, Shakib Al Hasan is back, so that is good news for them. But as you know, we know Mehdi Al Hassan. Mehdi Hassan is a wonderful all-rounder. He has already proved that he's a very able all-rounder, and he's going to be missed. Not only that, they're going to miss their strike bowler, Taskin Ahmed. There's a lot of talk going on. So Bangladesh definitely crippled, according to me. But they are strengthened by Shakib Al Hasan. They have that experienced hand of Tamim Iqbal, Shakib Al Hasan, and Mushfiqur Rahim. Mushfiqur Rahim has to watch out for his reverse sweep that he does and has brought him into a bit of trouble. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. Mahmoud Sanjay has been very, very impressive. We all know that he has a sound technique. It's good to see. And also, the bowling will be good. I don't think there is a place for Khalid, who did well against New Zealand, I reckon. But there's no Khalid in the team. But also, so the spin will be the pace will be in the hands of Shariful Islam, the left armer, Abadat Hussain, and the spinners. It would be Tajul Islam, who has this habit of picking up a lot of wickets. Now, as far as Sri Lanka are concerned, well, they have their problems as well. It's a good. I think it's a sound unit here. Dimuk Karunaratne is the captain there. Suranga Lakmal has retired, and so everything will be in the hands of Kasun Rajita, Vishwa Fernando, the strike bowler, and the spinners will definitely play a part. We know on subcontinent conditions the spinners are someone who definitely play a part. So I think it will be an interesting contest, I reckon. Dimut Karunaratne will captain the side. Rosado Fernando, who's always in and out of the Sri Lankan side. I always have questioned that. Kushal Mendes is in some prime form, one could say. He played in the Bangladesh League this year, and he also cracked a century. Angelo Matthews is always, he's the most experienced person in this team to nurture all those players. Dhananjay Silva, whether he can get his maiden test done, because he has been found a bit careless when it comes to getting tons. So the question will be whether Dhananjay Silva can get his maiden test done. Dinesh Chandimal or Ramesh Mandis, Niroshan Dikwala is also there. And so I think we should have a nice contest, but I'm afraid to say the forecast in Dhaka, in Chattogram, is not good. They say there's an odd thunderstorm. They say there is an odd thunderstorm forecast for every day of the test, and that is not good news, according to me. If the first test match has to go the whole hog, so it will be interesting to see what really comes up. So that is as far as that match is concerned. Now we have a sneak peek at what happened. The flagship news, as we call it, would be England, who were looking out for a coach, and the new coach of the England cricket team is none other than the former New Zealand wicketkeeper batsman and the only batsman from New Zealand who has got a triple century in Test cricket, and he's the one who would be the new coach of the England Test team. And one thing would be an advantage, according to me, as far as having Brendan McCullum, is that first he has New Zealand is New Zealand and England. As you know, New Zealand will be coming to England. They will be playing the Test series, and Brendan McCullum, this is his first stint as being a red ball coach, and it will be interesting to see because Brendan McCullum will have a lot of knowledge about New Zealand batsmen, New Zealand players in general. So that will stand him in good stead. Whether this will be a chance for England to really, really bounce back after the reverses or the humiliation that they suffered in the Ashes against Australia and Australia. It will be interesting to see. So that will really, really help. I think Brendan McCullum being the former New Zealand person who is the coach of the team, and also the team in question is New Zealand, who are playing England. So it'll be interesting. I think that's a good move. And I think Brendan McCullum would be probably sharing a lot of secrets with the England cricket team about his own team, the New Zealand team. Other than that, trying to see whether anything else. Gujarat Titans, as I said, is the only team which just made to the playoffs already, and what an impressive IPL debut for them. What an impressive first IPL for them. And other than that, as far as Umran Malik is concerned, there's a lot of talk going on whether he should be. The cricket experts are raving about him to be fast track. The fast bowlers, Glenn McGrath, and everyone, I've been telling him he used to bowl a length. As he's bowling with a lot of pace, there's a lot of he's burning a lot basically. So he has to really watch against his fitness problems as well. Amran Malik is believing only in pace. I'm sure he's very excited because the whole India is excited to see him bowl at such pace. So my feeling, I'll just tell you my opinion for Imran Malik. I think he should not be playing in the T20 World Cup. I want to see him thrust into the test matches, because with his pace, with having three slips and two gullies. If Umran Malik, I'm looking forward to seeing something in the test matches with the red ball rather than the white ball stuff with Umran Malik. First, let's trust him into the test matches, see how he goes. Well, if he definitely is someone who's hitting the timber and getting the ball with that pacey delivery to edge in the slips, then he's definitely someone that they can coin in for the T20 World Cup. But I think they should definitely test him in red ball waters first before putting him into the international arena for white ball cricket. Well, dear fans and subscribers, it's always a pleasure bringing you this cricket show. Hope you all liked it. Again, I'll be back tomorrow with the IPL cricket match summaries as well. Thanks for watching. Again, as always, I tell you, I have a Twitter page. That is something I take recourse when during the weekdays when I'm not able to come to you. Then I also have my own creative website, www.cricket-status.com. Thanks for your company as always, and look forward to having your company once again tomorrow. Until then, it's good night. Thank you.